social activists will be literally fighting the scourge. They will do this by uniting over 1,000 martial artists to shatter boards and a world record. Now, funds raised will be used to provide self-defense training to 10,000 women. The event is spearheaded by Mark Grobler, founder of Empowered, who joins us now in studio. Mark, good morning, and thank you for joining us in studio.
Lovely to have you. Lovely to have me. Thank you. Thanks.
Lovely to have you too. Mark, I just want to warn our viewers, I might be breaking that board later. We'll see how it goes. I'm just gearing up some strength. But what made you decide to fight for this specific cause?
Well, it all really started 30 years ago. I'm sure you'll all remember Alison's story. She was abducted in Port Elizabeth by two men, brutally raped, left for dead. Alison's my friend. I wrote a thesis for my 5th day grading on self-defense for women. That's how the whole ball started rolling. And I'm glad you say fight, because I think we need to change the narrative. Every day during 16 days of activism, everybody jumps on their boxes and you get all this rah-rah, and together we can end gender-based violence. You know what? We can't. I think we need to get our head around, we're not going to end it. We're not going to end global warming. We're not going to end crime. It is, I always say to people, can you imagine a world where we don't need a police force? Of course not. But together we can fight it, and together we must. And that's sort of the reason I started Empowered, was just to give women and men skills and a little bit of knowledge to let them know that they have a choice in a life or death situation, that they can do something, that they are not helpless.
And what role, as you just said, does self-defense play in that? Because we see so many programs where people say, come and learn to defend yourself. Can that help?
I'm glad you actually bring that up, because it's a bit of a pet hate of mine. If you want to learn how to defend yourself, and if you want to get technical, you need to find a martial art and train every day. Every day. Because
so I can't just go for a one-day course and then say I know how to defend myself.
Exactly. So in other words, in my world, the way I like to put it is defense or self-defense, just by the name, is reactive. It says, if someone does this, you do that. If someone does that, you do this. So if you want to learn self-defense, find a martial art. I said there's too many people out there teaching self-defense as if it was a martial art. A martial art is a lifelong pursuit. So our approach at Empowered is we teach personal protection the way you would teach a first aid course.
I love that. Tell me more about this personal protection.
So, let me ask you, do you think it's a good idea to do a first aid course?
Yes.
Yes. Is it going to make you a surgeon? Of course not.
No.
But it's going to give you something that could help you. And I say every program I ever do, I say to people, self-defense, do you think it's important? And then all the hands go up. And I say, well, how many of you are taking regular classes? And then all the hands go down. And I said, the reason why is it's important, but you're not prepared to do what's necessary to achieve that. I call it the niche between ninja and nothing. So we all know what a ninja is. I always say to you, do you want to be a ninja? You say, of course I want to be a ninja. Are you prepared to do what it takes to become a ninja? You need to train. But then do you want to know nothing? Of course not. When it comes to personal protection. So there's a gap in between.
And most of us, we fall in that gap in between. I want to ask you, as a woman, somebody who's been through gender-based violence, I'm intrigued to know whether you think that with the climate as it is in South Africa, we need to continuously, as you just said, be empowering ourselves to protect ourselves. The way we go to gym to look after our physical bodies.
It's advisable. But not everybody wants to do that. And this is where Empowered fits in. So we have a 2-hour program. You go through our program. At the end of our program, everybody punches through one of those. And you're going to ask me why. What that does, so we teach a simple technique. And our philosophy is quite simple. If it doesn't, switch him off. If it doesn't, switch him off. It's going to make it worse. So whatever you do has to neutralize him, otherwise it's going to make it work. If it doesn't, If it doesn't immobilize him, it's going to infuriate him. So we teach a simple technique, and when you walk away from the program, you actually understand you can do something, not think. It's not a so typical self-defense in a controlled environment, unrealistic attacks. You know, I always use, it's just unreal. It's controlled. The guy stands still while. When you walk away from empowered, you have a skill that you know will work, and that is really cemented by punching through the board. Because if I were to say to you, if you were to punch through that board today, would you forget that you punched through the board? No. Would you forget how you punched through the board?
And that I can.
Exactly. And would you forget why? No. And that basically, then you have a skill that nobody can take away from you. Whereas most self-defense courses, as I said, they are controlled environment, unrealistic attacks, cooperative role players. It's just, and you walk away thinking you can do something that you can't.
This is incredible. Love this conversation. We'll take that aspect further another day. But for now, I want to talk about the 21st of November. You are attempting to break a world record for this good cause of the fight against gender-based violence. Tell us what's going to happen. What are you hoping to achieve?
So, for the longest time, I've had this dream. You know what people say, if your dreams don't scare you, they're too small. So this one's scaring me. So 21st November, Sunbet Arena, Pretoria, we are aiming to break a world record in the biggest simultaneous board break. Now, the biggest simultaneous board break that I could find on record is just over 400 people. So we, at Sunbet Arena, there's actually place for close to 1,000. So we're looking for people to buy tickets, corporate South Africa, buy tickets, send your people out on the 21st. It's a weekday. It's a Thursday morning. And a lot of people say, you know what, corporate South Africa, let your people come and
break a board.
And break a board.
So it doesn't just have to be somebody who can do martial arts.
No, I'm obviously appealing to martial artists to be there, but anybody. So well, the idea is on the morning we're going to go through the full empowered program. So you're not going to just rock up and punch a board. You're going to go through the full empowered program, and at the end of the thing we are going to break. Hopefully, depending how many tickets, but let's say we break 500 boards, and then straight after that, we're going to break another 500 because the tickets are for two people. Because you need someone to hold your board. Then you're going to break. We're going to swap around and do it again. It's never been done anywhere ever in the world, and the idea is to raise funds to be able to go and train those that can't afford it. Let's be honest. You mentioned earlier, gender-based violence is a scourge in this country, and the people that need it most can't afford to go to these type of programs.
Very, very great cause. 10,000 women you are hoping to train. That's what the funds are for. Now, we're going to have a very quick demonstration. I did think about it. I thought about whether I should do it or not, but the nails. Let's just say it's the nails, okay? Coffin shape and what. So we're going to have Mark and one of my colleagues here to try and help, just to try and get people to understand what will be taking place. Maybe you can just demonstrate for our viewers.
So, Women Empowered, that is the name of the business. On the day, the boards are actually going to be branded The Big Break, because that's the name of the thing. So the idea is if you can punch through a board like this, you can immobilize anybody walking on the planet. And I don't want to get into the technicalities of it now, but quite simply, this gives you belief. If you can punch through this, then you can do something that you thought was impossible. Because if I'll show you this board at the back, everybody says, it's impossible. It's not impossible.
It's quite thick. Our viewers can't see. It's quite thick. In my mind, I always think, oh, goodness. Who's going
to hold the board?
Let's see.
Okay.
In my mind, I do feel like I can do it, but I know
you can.
I know better.
I'd want to spend just a few minutes with you. So I want you to just put your weight on your front leg. Don't let it move. Just pick it up. Make sure those arms are straight. So this is stuff we're going to cover on the day. But the theory is, we call this the zero position. Could you get this close to somebody? Yes, you could get this close to somebody. And again, we'll go through this on the morning. But quite simply, it's about just applying a simple technique. And one of the key factors to breaking a board or anything is you need to concentrate on a spot on the other side of the barrier. Just hold it up for me a little bit. So from there, I stand dead still, quite simply, bang. Now, a lot of people go, oh, it's impossible. You know, everybody, over 11,000 people have been through the program already. And Yeah, look, let
And
me
your
close
hand-
it.
your hand is
my
okay?
hand's fine. My
All
hand's
right.
fine. No, I've been doing this my whole life, but I brought this little thing just in case I didn't scare anybody away. So we have little pads that we use for,
Wow.
because understandably your hand is not conditioned.
Yeah.
I've been stupid enough to be punching boards my whole life. But so on the morning, we'll have a whole bunch of pads like this. It just protects your hand and gives you, so you don't bruise your hand, anything. So.
And you will get some form of training as well. Quickly, Mark, where do people get the tickets?
Ticketpro.co.za. I think it's Ticket Pro. Just go to Ticket Pro and look for the big break. I suppose I'm pleading corporate South Africa. For this to happen, I need people to rock up, come and do that. It's never been done anywhere in the world. It's going to be as a world first, world record.
Yeah.
And we hope to make this an annual event. So
Yeah.
the idea is, however many we get this year to come to the event, let's double it next year. Let's double it the year after. Let's make this, because let's be honest, and a lot of people look down at me when I say that's not going away. We need to understand that.
Deal with it, face the reality. As you said, like with climate change. We ignored it for many years, and now we are here.
But even crime, let's be honest, crime's not going away anytime soon.
Yeah.
But does that mean we don't have a police force because crime's not going away? It's a waste of time.
Yeah.
Of course not. Gender-based violence is not going away anytime soon, or at least not in our lifetime. But let's fight it. Let's stand up and fight it. Let's change the narrative from together we can end it to together we can fight it.
Mark, thank you so much for your
Always a
initiative and all the work that you do at Empowered. I am now adding my voice to Mark's on the 21st of November. Please go out and support. Go to Ticket Pro, get the tickets, and let's together try and break that cycle of gender-based violence that we find here in South Africa. Once again,